Well, basically, I decided to run because of we have redistricting, and I don't think a lot of people were happy about it. But I decided to look at the options, and I'm a very strong conservative, and my voting record shows that. If you go to the website for Americans for Prosperity or Goldwater, you'll see the discrepancy between where I am and where my opponents are. So I decided not to run for Steve Pierce, not because I was worried about not beating him, but we passed out some very strong conservative bills in the Senate. They were anti-union bills, card check, release time, the boots on the ground bill, my school choice bill, which gives a parent trigger, and a number of major conservative bills that were killed in the House. And I understand the politics behind it. Andy was going to run for Congress, and so he didn't want to do anything that might have been controversial to our governor or what have you. But the fact of the matter is, when we have a conservative majority in the House and Senate, we have to pass these bills out. And that did not happen in this last session. So I decided, okay, this is my new district. I want to get to know everybody up here. I want them to know me. I've had a place up here for 16 years. I am a taxpayer up here. My kids grew up here in the summers. So I really wanted to run, and decided that I should run for the House to keep the conservative majority, and that's really the reason I'm running. I'm not termed out. I've heard all these rumors, these urban legends. I've only served one term in the Senate, which I tried to serve with distinction.
And the other night you had a fundraiser, and Sheriff Joe Arpaio came up, and he did mention the gun thing.
The pink pistol?
Yeah, or something. So,
well, it's raspberry. Yes.
Oh, is it raspberry? Okay. And a lot of people up here might not have any clue at all about what he's talking about. So why don't you?
It's a 380 Ruger. Well, what happened was, the day I got sworn in, I had my pistol in my purse, and I was chosen by my Senate president to be on the welcoming committee to the House. I forgot I had it in my purse, and they were wanding, and I had to tell them, well, it was 2 days prior to Gabby Giffords being shot, unfortunately.
Right.
So they were like, so you're afraid for your life? I'm like, no, I always carry. So I then became the poster child for women carrying. So a year later, the Republic wanted to do another article about women carrying. And they wanted to film my gun and talk about it. So we were all by ourselves with the reporter and the photographer, and I was demonstrating the laser, and the reporter walked into the laser. I quickly averted it. We both laughed about it. And in the interview, he goes, well, can I see that again? And I'm like, I'm not pointing it at you. He knew it was, and furthermore, there was no bullet in the chamber. So, I mean, I was in control all the time. But the way they made it sound was that I'm sitting in an interview on something totally unrelated to the guns, and I whipped it out and pointed it at his chest. Nothing could be further from the truth. That did not happen that way. So, and then I was the poster child for why women shouldn't carry, and it went to the New York Times that said state senator pulls pistol on reporter, like in a crowded lounge or something, and that was absolutely not true. So but I learned a valuable lesson. You do not give reporters I do not take my gun anywhere for the sake of a reporter. They will not see it. So
okay. I'm not even
don't ask me.
I'm not going to.
Now, I respect guns and gun safety. My father was an avid hunter and a gun collector, and he's, so anyway.